Everyone, and welcome to the Dear Talk Show. Hello, I hope everyone is having a terrific day or morning so far. Anywho, guys, let me go ahead and get into the housekeeping. Make sure you hit the like button as you're hearing my voice and as you're entering into my home. So, guys, hit the like button, go ahead, and let's get the housekeeping out of the way. This is the Copyright Act of 1976 under Section 107 for fair use for purposes such as teaching, research, commenting, sometimes criticism. And for me, guys, you know my slogan, it's always that jazz. Also, if you guys are not subscribers, go ahead, let's run the numbers up and get me subscribed. And I'm going to start putting out more commentary. I'm kind of like, I do it how I feel, and that's pretty much what it is. But I want you guys to comment, share this video with your friends and family, get my name out there, spread it around. And don't forget, this is Ree's house. Guys, I want to let you know, if you haven't heard or heard me on another panel, I have not been feeling well since last week. If anyone's had a car accident, no matter where you've had that accident, your back, your arm, leg, whatever, even 10, 15 years, and I'm going on about, oh my gosh, probably maybe 15 years. But I have a bulging disc, and for some reason, I think I turned wrong last week, and I thought I would have been better by now. I went to the doctor, and she gave me some muscle relaxers, and prednisone also actually helps with the swelling, but it's still so painful that I really can't sit straight up or stand straight up. So, guys, if you know anything, I've tried Bengay. I've tried all types of creams, ointments, anything that you know that you think could possibly help me. Let me know. And if it's something is medical, I can call my doctor and she'll let me know if I can take it or not. But guys, keep me in your prayers, and I'll do the same for you. Anywho, let me go ahead, and I want to tell you guys that this is the Love and Marriage Huntsville season 10, episode 6 review. And also, I want to say Martell is back. He is not here to play with them. None, any of them. And also, Tisha, you're just playing entirely too much. It's like, I don't really know if you're coming or going, but you guys will see what I'm saying. Because last week she had all this smoke for Nell. She was talking about the rumors about Nell's husband, but really seemed like you were deflecting because you're going through your own stuff. But anywho, let me remove this. I want to go ahead, and everything that I'm going to show you on the screen. Let's see. Let me share this. I want to go ahead. Love and Marriage Huntsville. Let me select that and bring that up. Okay, so I'm on Love and Marriage Huntsville screen. I want to show you it. When they first began, they started where they left out with Latisha and Nell at the coffee shop. Latisha is going to come back in after she stormed out, saying what she wasn't going to do, where she has PTA meetings or whatever you call them for her son or children or whatever. Listen, I don't have time to try to get it right. Let me just play this for y'all can hear what she has to say, child.
Okay, so if you're not going to be respectful, then this conversation is going to end. I'm absolutely being respectful. Okay? And I'm not your child either. You're absolutely correct. So do you want to have a conversation now? Do you want to have one? Oh, Jesus. That's all. Tequila for this coffee ain't gonna do it. So if you want to have a conversation, we can talk. But if you're gonna be loud with me and be disrespectful, I'm not gonna have this conversation with you. You've been disrespectful. You was disrespectful. Okay. So I'm not having this conversation. When you're ready to talk to me, hit me back up, girl. Oh, girl, we ain't got to talk. Okay.
So this is the second time that she leaves. Not the first time. This is when she came back. So let me go ahead and put this nice little thing up, because it's a certain part that I want you guys to hear. And I'm like, Latisha, baby, no, we not really doing that. But just listen, guys.
I'm coming back because I have a level of respect for you.
I cannot do YouTube. So let me finish. I want to talk this through, but you.
Okay, you have a level of respect for Nell, but the way you talking to her is like she's one of your children, not like she's older than you. So moving on.
Cannot yell at me. I'm not yelling at you. But dog, please don't raise your voice at me in here. This is a place where I have my son PTA meeting at.
We don't care. I'm not yelling at you. Don't care about that.
He can talk. I'm not yelling.
So I want you guys to hear this part.
I think I got it. But we can talk this through like adults. But don't raise your voice at me. I'm not gonna raise my voice at you. And that's fine. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so the conversation. So you didn't like the fact that you say I was in your husband's face. That's where it started. Okay. I've been dealing with a lot of rumors for the past couple of years. I'm tired of it. I'm just tired of it. Marriage, it's actually caused problems in our marriage now. So why is it a messy thing that continues to come back? Oh, real, your husband and having infidelity. Like, I'm so sick of dealing with it. And I'm sorry to get teary-eyed. I'm just tired of it. Because it seems like everybody comes with the same BS. I want Nell to know that this whole thing has really played an effect on my marriage, on my relationship.
Okay, this is my question to you, Latisha. If and I can tell that those are true feelings because of when a person's talking and they get choked up when they're talking because you can't hold it back. It don't matter how strong you think you are, you can't hold it back. So if you know how that feels, why every chance you get, you throwing up the same thing that's being done to you in Nell's face? And it's not just at Trisha's party when you and it showed a throwback. I forgot what episode of this season they showed the throwback of when you and Chris, when Chris, Marceau and you sat down with Nell and Chris, you asked these people straight out about the cheating situation. Like you got to have a filter. You know, I don't really feel like things have, this is my opinion. I don't really feel like the problems that you've had in your marriage, yeah, you saying that you don't like people talking about this and this, but the smoke you had at the table, and I was here for the smoke because I thought you had got yourself together when you was giving Ned, when Trish asked about the situation when Martell had the woman on there and you were like, we've discussed it, we've worked on it, whoop de whoop de woo. And people, y'all may come and say, oh well, this was months ago when they made that clip. Baby, let me tell you something. It don't matter if it was when the season was over. She said they were separated and they worked on it and whoop de woo, and that's all we heard. Now fast forward, you sitting at the table saying y'all talked about it. Even when you was on Carlos King, do I need to bring up Carlos King and put the link of when they did the interview? She did interview when she was on there with Dustin and Carlos and the other lady. So if you've worked on it, you shouldn't have these feelings right now because that was last season and you guys supposedly have moved past it. Because those emotions that you're having are your raw emotions that you're holding down deep inside. And it's okay. We would understand more if you be what you said, transplant parent, transparent, authentic, real. If you, that's the way that you be queen bee on a show. You lay it all out on the line, baby. Because what's gonna happen, you sitting there and you really supposed to be having a conversation with Nell and y'all supposed to be talking about the Chris Fletcher stuff, but your stuff is coming out. Let's keep it going. I'm just saying.
And on me as the woman. And being that Nell had to actually deal with cheating from her husband, she should know exactly how it feels. So I appreciate you being transparent. And this is what I wanted. It's like,
okay, my whole thing is the way you emphasize that she had to deal with. You don't never have to tell us if that was the case or not. Because my whole thing is, and I'm gonna talk about this later as Martell comes in. Everybody want to give Martell smoke about this, and this. But at the end of the day, Martell could have been saying a lot of things and he kept his mouth closed. He kept his mouth closed. But when the moment Martell starts talking, y'all have a problem with it. Y'all have a problem with it. And that's the reason why I'm hoping everybody's beginning to see it is for what it really is. You don't really have an issue with Nell. The issue you have is that Nell has came out and been transparent about the cheating in her marriage, and allegedly you're not. You're not the first, last, second, third, fourth, fifth. And if anything, you should be blaming Marceau for the reason why people talk to you and do things the way they do, because from day one, Marceau has been coming out, not trying to make anything, even if he was trying to lie in front of the cameras, he never tried to protect you. He actually made things worse. He made things worse, even with the cheating rumors and all of that stuff. He was gaslighting you, pretty much laughing, in my opinion, in your face a lot of times. So, baby, yeah, y'all can miss me with that. That's it on that. I'm going to keep moving. So, anywho, Maurice and Kimmy meets up. Maurice, let me go ahead and remove that, bring it down. Maurice and Kimmy meets up, which I'm really not going to go too far into that. I'm going to let you guys see. Hold on. Let me go there. I'm going to let you guys see a little bit of hear a little bit of their conversation. But child, they so full of mess too. They are so full of mess. All these mofos full of mess. Okay. Anywho, let me let Kimmy. This is Kimmy and Maurice talking. I'm gonna let y'all hear what she got to say about Martell.
After all of your wonderful counseling conversations of helping him get right, he took to throwing you under the bus.
And why you think that?
I look at Martell acting like a little kid. This is a guy who's hurt, so he's trying to do things to hurt other people.
I don't think he gives you as much respect as he plays he does. And I think in order for people to hear, they have to hear it from people they respect. It might be pointless coming from you. I think Martell looks at you as an extension of your brother.
Well, he doesn't respect any of the Scotts. Why should he respect y'all? He's kept all of y'all business under the wrap when he could have just put everything out. So, Kimmy, and one time I am going to agree with you. Martell does not respect Maurice, and she's going to say at the end about all of them. So, yeah, y'all are the wrong people he doesn't respect y'all.
And for as much as he in your face tells you things like, yeah, you're right, I hear you, da, da, da. It looks like he gives you some sort of respect. I don't think he does. After all of your wonderful counseling
she, at the end, what you guys didn't hear, that she said that she feels like there was in a confessional, both of them, and she was basically saying, loosely based, that they're not the right people because he doesn't respect any of them. They're not the right people. So, I mean, that I'm going to agree. I'm not going to agree with a lot of stuff with her, but that I will agree with what she has to say. For me, the way she was summing it up is pretty much like she feels that. She also said this, that they didn't play on there, that Martell is looking like, okay, I've lost everything, and they still got their family, they still got food brought to them, being catered to them. This is how she was saying it to, Maurice, and he was loving it. Like, these Scott brothers, they think that they are the la creme of the la creme. Maybe in those people's eyes, their women's eyes, and that's the only eyes I guess that matters. But basically, I felt like she was saying that Martell is jealous, So, but those are her opinions, and so for me, that's pretty much all I'm gonna give that situation. So let's go ahead and move on to Tisha, Marceau, and Macy. Let me go ahead and stop sharing that, and I want to bring up Tisha, Marceau, and Macy. Here's Marcel walking into the kitchen with Tisha and Macy. Okay, guys, I am so sorry. I had someone come in and interrupt, so I had to abruptly stop. So let me go ahead and let that start again, but I'm not cutting that part out. So
I need for y'all to start doing that.
Doing what?
Putting your stuff on social media. Like, y'all on social media more than I am.
You gotta talk to her in the language she understands.
What's that language?
You can get some money from your sales, or you can stop asking me for money. Every time
you should stop giving her money and make her start, like, for real.
No.
You don't think that's not going to happen?
I mean, no. Like,
who's your favorite parent now?
Still mom.
Ooh.
You can talk to me when you grow some hair.
Ooh.
Why are you such a hater, man?
I'm not hating. I'm telling the truth. Dad once was my favorite parent, but he definitely lost to mom. He used to be in first place, and mom was like a really close second. But recently, he's just been dropping and dropping and dropping. I don't know what got into him.
Macy's joking. She jokes like that. She's funny like her dad. So a lot of things that she says, it's like, it's sarcasm. It seems like it's an insult, but trust me, it's a joke.
So I need for you.
Okay, so anywho, Macy is so pretty. So Macy leaves out. I pretty much don't have to say anything. She pretty much all I need to say is, Marcel, Macy has your sense of humor. And boy, it is funny because I've had to deal with that with my youngest, who has my same, how can I say it? Attitude. All the lack thereof things that I wish he didn't have. So when your kids give it back to you, I had the same look on my face, Marcel, that you did. So yeah. So, but that was really cute. I like that situation. The only thing I want to say in that situation is, Tisha, um, you should really be the one that's doing the marketing and everything. You were the one that spearheaded. I think allegedly this the products. So if anybody should be showing her the marketing, I think you got a degree in that too, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be, but it should be you. So yeah, I'm with Marcel on that. But enough of that. So Tisha, was talking to Marcel, telling her about the situation, about she has a level of respect for Nell, so she went back, and then she said that, let me see, Tisha, you can't remember, you get okay. So then she was, telling Marcel regarding their conversation and everything, but she switched over and she was like, well, I really like when Destiny, I, and Kimmy meet, because she was telling Marcel, that, Destiny, is transparent and everything. And Marcel's face, the way it looked, I didn't think he was going to say anything, but we know Marcel is going to say something. So Marcel was like, I'm just telling you, you might want to feel Destiny out. And I'm like, watch Destiny for what? That's what I said in my notes. I'm like, watch Destiny for what? And so Latisha was like, she kind of had that look too, like, what do you mean? And he was like, I just think, and so that's when they was like, throwing production was having what do you call the things? I'm telling you, I'm in pain, so my mind don't click as fast right now. Anywho, production was showing, they were showing throwbacks of Martell and Destiny talking and different things of that nature. And so Tisha was telling Marcel, like, she told her and Kimmy, like, yeah, I've known Martell before I knew you guys. And Marcel was like, yeah, she pretty much just going to go along to get along, in so many words. I'm loosely basing. And so Tisha, she was just saying, like, she doesn't, want to talk about children or talk about marriage. And I wrote down, Tisha, honey, the show is called Love and Marriage for a reason. You have to talk about your marriage. And yeah, children are off, limits, but if the children, especially if they're adults, like with the Jalen and all that situation, so for some content creators, children are off limits and some are not. So you just have to be kind of mindful of that when you put your kids out on television and different things, because everybody doesn't go by that code. So, but when it comes to marriage, honey, you on the wrong television show then. So, anywho, I want to move past that. Nell and Chris, let me go ahead and stop sharing that. Nell and Chris, they went to a store. They, was all nicely dressed, coordinated, and everything. They get out, they're going shopping for the grandbabies. And, Nell was just telling Chris about the conversation with Latisha. And then she started telling them about, how Latisha was talking about, everything that's coming out, or people were saying stuff about their marriage. And Chris had this look like, baby, I left it right there. It wasn't a lot to talk about, but I just saw Chris' face. Chris, all these men know, and I'm gonna say allegedly, but they all know each other's dirt. So, anywho, Martell and Maurice meets up. So I want you guys to hear a little bit of what Maurice, I'm so glad that Martell said it the way he said it to him, because Maurice really thinks that he's the smartest one out of the bunch between men and female, like everybody. He think he's the smartest person. And I'm going to just leave it like that. Y'all can loosely interpret what I'm saying. But let me let y'all, this is Martell and Maurice when they're meeting up, and then I'll go into everything I have to say. This is just off of Love and Marriage Huntsville Instagram page.
I asked you here, man, because I'm concerned. Legitimately concerned.
With me?
Yeah.
I'm good, though.
Martell, hear what I'm saying.
All right, go ahead.
All right. In essence, actually, I made up in my mind before I even got here what I thought. I think that you've played the villain so long until you've become the villain.
Okay.
Because there was a good side of Martell. Then, for years, you're like the dartboard.
Look at Martell's face. Let me tell y'all something, and I'm going to keep this 100. Martell is he's not an ugly guy, but I love Martell. One thing nobody can't say, Martell has confidence out of the yin zang. He made a knot because, he was talking about when he was younger, how he was scrawny in his ears and everything. But baby, he has blossomed. And look at that face of confidence. Looking at him like, ninja, you really sitting up here. I'm hearing what you got to say, but I got my reasons for why I'm sitting in front of you. The confidence that is it's just radiating out of his face. And I know, Maurice, you feel it, but let me carry on.
Eventually, you got comfortable being the villain.
Man, I don't like the negativity, dog.
So why even engage in it?
I wasn't fighting back at first. I wasn't talking about Marceau. I wasn't talking about Tisha. But I felt that, damn, they keep coming at me. Mm-hmm. I hate that the situation happened the way it happened. It's like, don't y'all lie about it. You lied about things. Now it's time for me to say something back or do something back.
Boom.
I asked you here, man, because I'm concerned.
Let me let y'all see Martell.
Legitimately concerned.
With me?
Okay. I wanted to just have a picture up there while I'm talking. Well. And it's a part that I want y'all to hear, but we're going to get to that. First of all, Maurice, you can miss me with, you want to throw these words around mental health, that you're concerned about his mental health. That's what you were saying to Marceau and to Kimmy. Well, to Kimmy, and then when you later on talked to Marceau, I was concerned about his mental health. Miss me with that, bro. First and foremost. So now what? You went to school to be a psychiatrist? Okay. We're not hearing it. We're not hearing it. And so then Martell, after they had the little conversation that you're seeing, then they, he kind of like, backpedal it, because when you're having a conversation And a lot of people don't understand, if you know how to be a driver in the seat of communicating, you can drive that conversation the way you want to. But you really have to know how to do that. You have to pick up on clues. You have to know how to put a little gas on it, take your feet off the gas a little, take your foot off the gas a little bit. So anywho, Martell was like, Maurice was like, oh, well, what's been up with you? And they were doing a little pleasantries. So he was telling him, oh, yeah, I'm just really trying to get it right, buckle down, be serious, and make sure that I'm really, taking things serious and doing right. And Maurice was like, well, who? Well, what? He was like, with Ariana and taking her serious. He was like, Maurice was like, what? Oh, so you're talking about marriage? And Martell was like, yeah, possibly. I don't see why not. So they're both playing with the conversation. So I'm not going to stay on that too long. They're both playing with the conversation. So Maurice wants to sit and use his timeline. Listen, man, let me tell you, I think Maurice, and this is my opinion, allegedly, I feel that Maurice takes this lawyer crap to his head a little bit, even in his everyday life conversations, because all the times that you've been on the screen this season, you really didn't want to say too much about your D to the U to the I. But now you want to say, you want to give a timeline. You want to tell Martell, and I'm glad you did, because Martell was laughing right. When I tell y'all Martell was laughing in his face, Martell was laughing so bad that Maurice was getting a little uncomfortable, almost like he was getting pissed off, I feel, allegedly. But Maurice was like, yeah, I want to just go ahead and set the record straight about the timeline, because nobody really knows what happened. He wants to say, and this is loosely based, that him and Kimmy both left together because, it was out there in the streets that, why did Kimmy leave and go home? And where were you going? He states that him and Kimmy left in Kimmy's car together. Kimmy took him back to his office for him to get his car. And when he was on his way coming home he wasn't no more than maybe 30 minutes allegedly behind her, that an animal ran out in front of him. And Martell was busting out laughing. Martell was like, an animal? And he was like, yeah, an animal. And so he was like, oh, well, and then I hit a pole. And Martell was like, oh, okay. Oh, okay, you hit an animal and a pole. And Martell was like, just laughing in his face. And Maurice is gonna say in his confessional, well, it's like you really laughing. I'm not sure if you laughing, but it's a serious situation. Listen to what Martell asked him after that, after he said, Maurice talked in his confessional, because he was like, really, and I could tell that he wasn't too happy about it, but he was like, he doesn't know if he's laughing because if he believes it, or he just laughing, but the conversation situation is serious. So I don't know if anybody else picked this up, but baby, I picked it up. Martell smiled, but he wasn't laughing. He said, well, were you on anything else? And Maurice was like, anything else like what? Most people would have been like, most people would have been like, bro, what you trying to say? Anything else like what? Here goes the attorney. Anything else like what? You left the door right open for Martell to say like what? Martell said pills or anything like that. And most people who are not doing stuff like that would say, why would you bring something up like that? But not Maurice. Maurice didn't say, why would you bring anything up like that? Now, if he did, they cut that out. So Maurice, I'm not saying you're on anything. I'm just saying allegedly, that's how production put it out, because Martell asked you, and he wasn't joking. He just had a smirk on his face. He said, well, were you on anything else? And instead of you saying, what you trying to say, bruh, you was like, no. And you didn't say no. You said, like what? I wouldn't have never said like what. I would have said, what you trying to say, bro? What you trying to say? I don't do anything else. But that's not what you said. based on how production put it out. Now, if you said anything else, you may want that to be played in the reunion, because I'm not saying Martell is, indicating or, putting out that you were on something, but, y'all all hung out and drunk together and partied together. So, but that's what Martell said. He said, and Maurice said, anything like what? And Martell said, like pills or anything. And I'll let y'all hear that. Just give me one moment.
Oh, you hit an animal that night? I hit an animal. Oh. And then that's when I hit the tree. So you hit the animal in the tree? Yes. Oh. It was a tree and a pole.
Fair use, guys. Fair use.
That's funny. Are you right now? No, I'm not. Hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm sorry. You hit an animal? A tree animal? Have you ever hit an animal, bro?
Fair use.
You sound like my 9-year-old, bro.
Fair use, guys.
Oh my God, dog. This is so embarrassing. I shouldn't be laughing like this, dog. Did you kill the animal? They keep running. Ran off. I think Martell's gassing me up right now. This is Martell's get back. That's what I think. He wants to bust out laughing about this story because he wants to get back. He wants to try to hurt my feelings because he felt hurt. That's what I believe. Because I don't think for 1 second that Martell thinks that a DUI and me going through all of this stuff, the injury and everything else, is funny.
No, he thinks
I don't think
allegedly the lies you telling is funny.
Be kidding me, right? He gonna sit up here talking about I hit a tree, I hit a pole, hit an animal. It was like it was a made up story, but it was serious,
Right.
And the main thing is he's not hurt. Hell, he probably laughed at it. Hell. So it's all good. Were you on anything else? You were just drunk? No. I wasn't drunk. No. Oh, I'm sorry. You weren't drunk. Hey, you know that my case is dismissed, right? Oh.
Okay. Did you hear when Martell said you wasn't on anything else, no pills, no nothing? Either that went right over Maurice's head. The only thing he thought about was, hey, my case was dismissed. Okay, Maurice. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, anywho, they were both throwing shade at each other, and it got to a point where the serious part came in, and Maurice was trying to get Martell in so many different ways to kind of say, I feel like it was a lie, and Martell stood 10 toes down on what was said. What was with the situation of the interview on YouTube with the young lady and him and Ariane? Martell stood, and then Maurice is asking him, "Oh, did you pay her?" He was like, "No," and I really believe he didn't, because Martell and Ariane, they was getting that for the ratings to make money. So why would they spend money? You know what I'm saying? They could have easily let Tasha K do it as well. So because they wanted to make the money, allegedly. So why would they pay her if they're trying to make money? But anywho, so Maurice was like, well, asking Martell, well, the young lady, he was like, well, why did you bring me in it? And he was like, well, she brought you in. Martell say, I didn't know what she was going to say. This wasn't about you. This was about, Marceau and his wife and your sister-in-law. But this was her story to tell. So don't get mad at pretty much Martell was like, don't get mad at the messenger, because I didn't know what she was going to say. But yeah. Hey guys, this is fair use. And this is the part where they talk about the young lady.
Showing out. Gloves are off, And I feel like some people don't care about me. Stop being so nice and stop caring about other people's feelings and things like that. I'm not giving. That's what I meant. Like, with your brother, your sister-in-law, don't lie intentionally. I don't like that. So you've never lied intentionally? No. The video that I put out, do you think that was a lie? Yes, I do.
How?
You included me into this situation, right?
I didn't include you in this situation.
No, you did.
No, I didn't.
In that video,
No, but bro, she told her truth. I didn't have nothing to do with that truth.
I'm telling you, most of it's not true.
Bro, I was there. You want me to tell you what the truth is?
Okay, go ahead.
You had sex with her. Also had sex with her. She wanted me badly, but like, oh,
You were in the room?
why y'all had sex?
Yes.
On the initial.
On the initial?
Mm-hmm.
So you watched us? What color was the room?
Now you being sarcastic, Maurice. Now you being sarcastic. First and foremost, Martell looked him straight in his eyes. I can tell, well, I normally can tell, but I've been watching Martell. When he's talking about Ariane, when he's talking about different things, Martell has a giveaway sign when he's lying. Martell looked Maurice directly in his face, didn't flinch, didn't smirk, them little corners of his mouth didn't go up or anything. And Maurice has this thing where he thinks that Martell is going to listen to him like he had a conversation with Kimmy. He's really thinking, and if you've noticed throughout the years that he acts like when things go awry with the guys, he try to be the fixer. You can't fix this, Maurice. You can't fix it. The man is saying straight to your face, and when it's the truth, I'm not saying it's the truth because I don't know. But Martell is saying, unless he's rehearsed it a lot, he is stating that he was in the room. He's telling you this to his face, to your face. Maybe you should have listened to Kimmy and not went and had this conversation with Martell, because now it's on camera that he's saying the same thing to you in your face. And maybe it is not the truth. I don't know. Only you guys know. So for you to ask Martell what your eggplant looked like, really, guy? Really? So now you're deflecting. So just because he was in the room, if most dudes that are straight, they're not going to be looking at other men's eggplant. If they in there banging it out, they're just doing what they're doing. So you need to get off of that. You like telling, man, let me go on past that. Because anyway, I just wanted y'all to get the meat and potatoes of it. This is Maurice, Kimmy, and Marceau after Maurice meets with Martell.
You said you were a witness. I was there. You're there.
So you say he was there and he witnessed it.
And he witnessed it. So now I start asking questions to a witness. Well, what was my look like?
You're not funny, because if you were in a court of law, you wouldn't ask in those terms of what your private genitalia looks like. So you're just being a smart ass right now, Maurice. But the funny thing is, Marceau, Latisha stated that you guys, and when y'all did the live, I seen some of the live, it was a little bit too long for me, so I got off. So evidently you guys seen the YouTube interview. So if y'all seen the YouTube interview, Martell stated in that interview that he was in the room. I don't know why you acting surprised now, Marceau, but anywho.
You know, there's some unique things about my anatomy that, you know, you wouldn't forget that.
I mean, you know, of course you're supposed to think highly of yourself, but nobody cares about your monsterhood, your manhood, your mandingo warrior, but Kimmy, and used to be Kyle and anybody else that you mess with. But I, sir, am not interested and don't want to know what it looks like. I'm not.
No, listen. This is
A mess, isn't he?
Guys,
Did he describe it?
no, he was like, I wasn't looking at him. Can't tell you what look like. I'm like, okay, I get it.
I mean, listen. If a guy's in a room watching another guy have sex and he's not, you know, he's still in the room, he's looking at something. He's looking at something. And we got to ask ourselves, what's he looking at?
Maybe he's looking at the situation. I mean, people out, they do all kind of things, and they don't mean that they are interested in the man. And you got to ask yourself, only you, your brother, Martell, and whoever else, and whatever else y'all do. Because Ariane said out of her own mouth that all of y'all, when they came to, and I want to say it was the Atlanta trip, y'all was all out. Y'all had different rooms, but she don't know what y'all was doing. But she said allegedly that y'all were there. All of y'all, Maurice and the so-called linebackers. That's her words, not mine. So if I were y'all, I wouldn't have brought this situation back up. I would have let lying dogs lie, baby.
You said you were a witness.
Okay. So for me, I pretty much, let me see, I pretty much didn't write too much. I just know that Marcel said he don't give a blank about Martell's mental health when when Maurice brought it up. And I think that was the end of it for me. The one thing I do want to say on the next episode, episode 7, all the guys are at the table, and Will, which is what's his name, Ken's friend, is talking about he knew Ariane in the past because he was a trainer, and she came to his house, and that's where it cut off at. And then it's some more stuff coming out. So yeah, I told you guys this was going to be a short one. I probably missed some things, but guess what? It is what it is. The bottom line is for me that the way that y'all putting yourself in this situation, the Scots, y'all are gonna have to come out and say stuff. And I really don't know. I mean, y'all tell me what y'all think. Do y'all think honestly that Latisha is really over? Because this is the thing. Think about it. I'm trying to put this in context for you guys. Latisha said at the end of last season, I caught this because I looked at it, that Marceau, when her and Marceau was at the jewelry store, that they had separated. And she was like, you know, in the way she was acting like they worked through it and all this stuff. Then after that went off, she went to, let me go ahead and stop sharing. After that went off, she went to Carlos King, and that was about 8 months ago because I had pulled it up. And let me go to my history. I had pulled it up. I want y'all to see. Where is my history? Oh, here it go. Yeah, this was 8 months ago, and Latisha comes in about 55 minutes and some seconds into the and if you guys don't remember, I will put the link in so you guys can at least go and watch it. But this is when she started making the alleged insinuations about Martell and his other taste and other things. You guys remember that. But this was 8 months ago. Now, before this, it was, you know, so the season had went off, and I'm trying to think, was this before the reunion or after reunion? I don't know, because I wasn't even keeping up with it like that. But I'll go ahead and put this particular one. Like I stated, this was, let me blow it up for y'all can really see it. This was with her, Dustin, and this was 8 months ago. And the title of it, let me go back and tell you the title. Hashtag Latisha plus Bell Collective, Tambra, and Martell versus Marceau, all that good stuff. So it's have put back into play about Martell and Latisha, Martell, Marceau, and all of them. And Martell also brought up when he was talking to Maurice, he was like, oh, when we were in Vegas, because he was like, oh, so you was there. He was like, oh, yeah. Remember when we was in Vegas? He asked, okay, I'm glad I brought this up. Y'all listen, his mind and his pain hurt. Maurice asked Martell at that sit down, how did you meet this young lady? How did you know her? And Martell was like, oh, I see what you're trying to do. That's the way his face looked. Martell was like, I met her when we was in Vegas. she was there too. And he was like, oh, what did she look like? Da 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 da. What was she wearing? All this stuff. Maurice, you got the wrong person when you're trying to run down that lawyer aspect, because Martell is a person that strives off of making you sweat. He is very comfortable when it comes to being cocky and being in your face, especially if he knows something. So the only way you can make Martell squirmish or squirm or something, if you know something that he doesn't know. Martell is a very cocky person, and that's not a bad thing, especially dealing with somebody like Maurice. When dealing with somebody like Maurice and Marceau, you cannot be a person that's submissive. You can't be passive, woman or man. If you are any one of those things, I feel they will eat you alive. You got to be able to have a thick skin. You have to be. So whatever it is that Marceau, it could be love. I think it's more than that. Something made him want to say, okay, I need to cut the ish out and get it together, because Tisha looked like, I don't know if she was going to leave or not, but evidently she said out of her mouth they separated. I don't know what that separation looked like. Now, was it a separation where he could still come over and, do whatever he was doing and they have relations? Because if you're going to try to teach somebody something in a separation, like, I don't know. But whatever it was, he's trying to curb that coattail of being sarcastic. And I said that. Y'all forgive me. Marceau and Latisha, I'm going to go back to when they were in the kitchen with Macy, but Macy had left out. And Latisha was talking about, Nell and everything. And she was like, yeah, Nell said that she didn't like when she put her finger in the face. And Maurice kind of dropped his head. And he was like, yeah, here's the confessional. Latisha tends to have a knack for, talking to the guys crazy or whatever. And he told her, he was talking to her at this point. He was like, yeah, you want to put it saying. The thing is, I've seen him talk to her before, and he's more sarcastic and made her look crazy. This time he kind of danced around it. It's something. It's not just he loved her and he don't want to lose her. It's a reason, I feel, and I'm going to say my opinion. But y'all tell me what y'all think. I gave it to you the best I could with all the pain that's going on. Follow me on TikTok, The Dear Ree Talk Show. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Lemon 8. Follow me on Blue Sky, The Dear Ree Talk Show. Follow me on X. And I also have a channel that's called Election Vibes with an S. Election Vibes, VIBES, and beyond. I'm still working on that channel. Getting a lot of my news commentary up. But follow me. So I'm busy doing other things, even though if I'm not on here all the time. I love you guys. Peace and soul. Mwah.